second convo with Book. He's grateful to come on and share his insight with us and his experiences, his trials and tribulations, and really grateful to have him back. This is his second one and something that we'll continue to do. So without further ado, Coach Book.
Appreciate it. Actually just getting through with helping coach a game. So it's a Sunday night in New York City, man, trying to get some stuff done, trying to stay out of harm's way. I would be remiss if I act as if we're not dealing with this thing called the COVID-19. And it's extremely real. I think New Yorkers, we've done a good job of banding together to try to eradicate this thing as best we can. But I don't want to be the guy acting like everything is fine when, we're dealing with this pandemic and we're dealing with things that right now are very weird and awkward for us. Again, it's August and we've not played basketball all summer. And again, that used to be something that was a huge issue. But you know what? Grow up, and I'm talking to myself, grow up and understand that there's something that's way more bigger than basketball. And it's about truly caring and helping your next man. So I definitely wanted to start with that. But overall, just having this forum and having an opportunity to, again, let people know who I am, where I am, what I'm doing. I know we talked last time just about having the true opportunity to get to know me, man. To get to know the person that's going through this crazy thing. September 2017 will be 3 years that this thing happened with the FBI and losing my career, losing my job. And there's been times, I talked to Ryan last week, and I wondered why I was still depressed. And I didn't want to let anyone know that. I didn't want to let anyone know that something's wrong with me. And I didn't want anyone to feel like, man, when is this guy going to get over it? But again, as I share, when something like that happens, when the FBI comes to your house at 6 a.m. and, you've seen some movies where you think like, man, this can never happen. It happens. And, like I said, man, even just sharing that with you guys, walking you through it, my son and my grandson were there. I have footage of that I watch periodically. And, just to say, is this a bad dream? And, as I share with any coach, any head coach, any assistant coach, that's something that it shakes you up and it takes you to some dark places, because this is the first time ever that I've dealt with someone having a negative connotation on me in my career. And is it warranted? I don't know. Everyone has their own opinion, and that's fine. And I can only set the record straight. As I said, full of very long time helping kids, and the situation, if there's anything that I can be sorry about, was a mistaken judgment. Overall was a mistaken judgment, and not looking at the whole thing through. But having that still affect you, trying to figure this thing out, and like I said, incredibly grateful to have this platform and have this forum, and trying to make sure that I can add value to basketball, to coaches, to players, to parents, but making sure, man, that we can grow this thing out and being very extremely transparent. Making sure that when there's a question that's asked, I'm going to answer it as honest as I can. And like I told you guys before, it's not about me crushing anyone else. I would never want anyone to go through what I've gone through and going through, physically, emotionally, mentally. I would never want any one person to say, hey, this is how we felt. So if I can take on all of this, I'm fine with it. But I want to make sure that you guys knew that, trying to grow this out, trying to have a situation where there is honesty, and I can talk about it, and the situation. I can talk about coaching. I can talk about things that's happened. Because again, that's the $1 million question. Hey, who knew? Who didn't know? It's irrelevant. I still, I went to jail for 90 days. And I've had some people say, man, that's nothing, and I would say this: 90 minutes in jail for anyone is too long, especially for a coach, especially for a person that, there was no doubt in my mind that it was like, this is, no, they got the wrong person. They have the wrong person. So, I just want to make sure that I think part of that is being able to, like I said, share that and let you guys know, busting my behind to try to get back and give to basketball, to give to these kids. I've had my detractors, and I'm going to continue to have my detractors. I just say to them, you know what, there's one person that can truly judge me, and I'll leave that alone. But I'm just you, man. I'm here for a world of trying to have a world of knowledge to share, and I want to make sure that I go back to being transparent. This is who I am. You guys are going to get to know me intimately. You guys are going to get to know me and understand this is who I am. And I think anyone who already knows me, they kind of have a sense, of that who I am. I'm the mischievous class clown. I'm the guy that loves to have fun. I'm the guy that loves to have people around me that's having fun. I'm the guy that will make fun of myself so someone else can feel comfortable. So, with all of that being said, I end up here in the Gaucho's Gym, 470 Broad Avenue, coaching an 8th grade team, coaching a rising 8th grade team. So I'm telling you, it's surreal. It's surreal. In a million years, I could not have told you that I would be in this situation, living in a 5-bedroom house to now, having a 3-bedroom apartment in New York City. Walk up, no elevator. Like it's, some of the things that you overlooked in life. I thought I'd be back in New York City as maybe the head coach at St. John's, the head coach at Fordham, associate head coach at St. John's. I didn't think I'd come back after a 90-day stint in Otisville Federal Prison Camp. I didn't think that I'd have an opportunity to coach again. And, as I coach these 8th graders, sometimes I may be a little bit too difficult, too hard on them, because I'm asking them to be be where I was at for the last 11 years. And I would say this unequivocally, the city of Tucson, the people in Tucson are incredible. They're great people. They're probably one of the most passionate fan bases in the country. And I understand at times, sometimes, you got to pick a side, and that's fine. I know my time there was a tremendous time. And, I respect those who have love for me. Those who don't, like I said, man, I can't, all they needed was a reason. So I'm not going to try to change their mind. I've been fortunate and blessed to have worked with some really good guys, man. I've been, like I said, I've been fortunate and extremely blessed to work with some really good guys, but I've also been fortunate and blessed to still be around basketball. And it's not Arizona, it's not recruiting 5 stars, it's not traveling, but again, I'm here every day and I'm earning my keep. So, again, it becomes surreal because, like I said, at my age, I didn't think I'd be back here depressed. And I say that word with all due respect because there's some people out there who, who their situations may not be like mine. And I'm not judging mine or theirs. I know how I feel. And I never thought that's what depression was. It's like this 800-pound gorilla, whispering in your ears, telling you some real bad stuff. And to try and fight it, you try to have basketball. And I've been fortunate enough, like I said, man, and I keep talking about my fortunes because, there were times where I didn't think about being here. There were times where, I felt, man, like suicide is the thing. I thought maybe if I wasn't here, this would go away. And like I said, man, I've never drank, I've never smoked. So what's wrong with me? And I realized that I'm so infatuated with basketball and I took for granted that it'd always be there. I thought I'd retire 70 years old as a coach. And maybe, I'm coaching in a different light. Maybe I'm doing something different, but I know I'm still able to help kids, impact kids in the right way. And I overall think that, what's happened, there's nothing I can do about it now except going forward. Just make sure, there's no stones unturned in terms of being inconsistent in my thought process and thinking about something like, hey, why would you do that? Right? It's $20,000. Why would you do that? So those are the things that I now can control. I can control, like, is it worth it? Is it not worth it? What was supposed to happen? What happened? Again, like I said, everyone sowed a scheme. Hopefully you came up with your own conclusion. And if you didn't, you know, like I said, man, I'm here. I'm gonna do my best to be as transparent as possible. But I would just, I would also say, like, guys, this is something that I'm living. And I think when anyone understands when something's been taken away from you like this, and it's been so, you know, it's been so sudden, just imagine the ramifications, because this was extremely public. This wasn't something that was private. This was public. So, you know, I want to make sure that when you guys tune into this thing, it's worth something. You know, I don't want it to be one of those things where it's like, man, this guy's full of shit, and excuse my expression, but I want to be heartfelt. I want to be honest. I want to be myself, and I'm going to be myself. I owe you guys that, and I owe myself that, because it's therapeutic. And like I said, that therapy for me is to be able to say, you know what? On one side, I've been vilified. I'm the villain. I'm the scum of the earth. I'm the bad guy in college basketball. And I hate this right now because I don't want to be emotional. But when you think about what's being taken away, and to go to jail for something like this is moronic. But you know what? I'm going to stand on 10 toes down, and I'm going to accept my responsibility like I have. And that's it. But this is, you know, this is one of the toughest things in my life, because I felt it was the only thing in my life. And, you know, I've been proven so wrong, especially, man, even if it's just two people on this Zoom, man. Thank you for even giving a damn about what I have to say. So that's why I want to make sure that this thing, I can continue it out. I can make sure that I'm honest with you guys, and I can make sure that I'm offering positive energy. I can offer positive advice, and I can do my best to make sure that no one will ever go through what I went through. No one will ever do what I did to feel the way that I felt and feel. I owe you guys that. And I owe these kids that. So like I said, man, I don't know who's on the Zoom call. I'm so technologically not advanced. I don't even know what the word. It's my heart right now, and I'm fighting tears because I don't want everybody to know that I'm not right, but I'm working to get right. I'm working to get right. And maybe my emotions is spilling because we just had a game. You know, we had a scrimmage, but there's something that has to be said, that, again, I'm trying to pour my stuff out because I'm just trying to share, because this is therapeutic for me. And like I said, man, I appreciate anyone who gives me 1 second of their time, because that means the world to me. That means the world to me.
Coach, I think we're going to open it up for questions. Anybody have a question for Coach Book?
I'm going to start. I'm going to get to you before Ryan, Coach. You said that all you was doing was coaching an 8th grade team. That number one, that's a big deal for those 8th graders, and you're an inspiration to more people than you can imagine. More people than you can imagine. Most of us feel that you was treated incorrectly and wrong, but that's the way life is. And as a strong Black man as you are, you're going to get through this, and you've already gotten through it. And we're just going to try to help boost you up and keep you going.
Yep.
So stay strong, my brother.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, Coach Book, thank you very much. I really appreciate how real and genuine you are. You know, myself as a recovering drug addict, alcoholic, food addict, every imaginable vice to earth, you know, I'll just say that I feel that what happened to you was complete and total bullshit. And I think it's disgusting, and it's a joke. And my question, and I appreciate you know, your feelings of depression. I get lonely and depressed at times. That's something I struggle with. But like, Director Miner said, I think that you're an inspiration. I don't think you understand how much love there is for you in the basketball community, and you will bounce back. Obviously the Wasserman thing is really exciting with Debbie, and, a lot of people have reached out to me and, really just embrace you. My question is specifically for like the young assistants on this call. and the younger coaches. Can you give some advice about, how you advance? Obviously had a great career and still going, but to Xavier in Arizona, could you just give some tips related to your advancement in your career?
I was always blessed to have great relationships, and my relationship started with just being genuine. I never wanted to be the college coach where they said, "Man, only time I hear from that dude is when he needs something." I wanted to make sure that it was heartfelt. I wanted to make sure that anytime I dealt with a person, it was personal. And I was okay with not getting the kid. I wanted to build a relationship because, if you don't get a kid and you're sour with them, guess what? They talk. And I wouldn't be happy that I lost a kid, but I remember we lost a kid to Duke, and the first thing I called, when he called me and he was in tears and he didn't want to call, I said, first of all, you didn't do anything wrong. Second of all, go and kick their ass, and you should be starting as a freshman. And third, if we play you guys, I want you to do well, but I want Arizona to win. But guess what? He helped me with get another recruit, because he said, damn, you know what? If I didn't go here, I was going there. And that's what this thing is about. Make sure coaches, your relationship stays strong. Don't let it be a coach, a coach AU thing. No, listen, that's my guy. And be honest. Don't ever sell a kid or a parent on anything that you don't commit to, that you don't believe in, because we all know the head coaches, their job is to make sure that they win and lose. Your job is to make sure that you deal with those kids. And if if you're not upfront with the parent and you're saying, well, why isn't Jamel playing? Well, he's not playing because the coach doesn't like him. No, it probably wasn't the right style. Your young coaches, you have to have your head coach vested in the recruit as much as possible, because when he gets there, he's not just your recruit. The head coach is the guy who's getting him back and forth. And if the head coach doesn't have a particular feel or care for him, it's going to always be tough. And I would say, especially for the young coaches, perfect your craft, man. Perfect your craft. What do I mean by that? Understand, know the kid's name. Know the kid's mother's name. Know the high school coach's name. Don't, hey man, what's up? No, know their name. Make sure that it's personal. Make sure that if that kid says he's going someplace else, it's going to be tough for him to do, because it's a personal feel. But don't be the guy that's like, man, I'm too busy to know that kid's name. Look him in the eyes. The same thing you want from him, give that kid, give those parents. And be very honest with those parents, man. Be very honest, because like I said, there's this thing where everybody has a problem with the parents, and it's like, well, when you're winning, you don't have a problem with the parents. That's only when you're losing. Is that the case? Or why they transfer them? Because we're lying to these kids. Oh, you're a pro. He's not. He's a mid-major guy. Hey, you're going to start for us. You're not. A kid is willing to deal with the truth, a hard truth, than a soft lie, because once he gets there, he's always going to go back to, well, you told me this.
Next question is Brandon Cole.
How you doing? First of all, I appreciate your time. I did want to say one thing. I didn't have a question. I just had a statement. I just wanted to tell you that we do support you. We appreciate you. One thing that Minor said that means everything to me is, you get to do this, right? Like, we always complain about things, and we always look at the other things. And now, like you said, your perspective as well. Like, man, you're happy you can even coach 8th grade, and you're back on the grind. Honestly, my wife and I, she fully supports me in my career, my college coaching career, everything. And she watched the movie with me, the documentary, I should say, and she has no clue about any of the extra stuff, right? She just knows about practice and games and recruiting. That's all she knows about. And even she said, what the hell is this? This makes no sense, right? So, I mean, any person with common sense supports you and believes you were done wrongly. And the rest of the people don't have common sense, and you probably shouldn't want to associate yourself with those people anyway. So I just want to let you know we support you, and keep doing what you're doing, and can't wait to see what the future holds for you, man.
B. Cole, I appreciate that, and thank you. And like I said, what becomes bad. So as much as I got to take the love, I got to take the hate as well, because that's what has really messed me up by trying to take that. So the support is tremendous. And again, I fight emotion because, you know, it just gets real crazy for me to see that there's love, because I don't see myself how you guys see me.
For sure, man. And I mean, like Minor said, there's way more people who support you than that don't. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. I always tell kids when they make a commitment video or something, they want to shout out their haters. I'm like, man, stop giving attention to people who don't support you and just keep giving attention to people that do, because those are the ones that believe in you. Those are the ones that matter. So same thing, man. Just keep pushing forward. We believe in you, and we're here for you, whatever we can do.
Gotcha. Thanks, B. Thanks, B. Cole.
Any other questions?
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Coach
Book.
There you go.
Coach Book. Coach Book.
What's up, Phelps?
I love you, man. Love you, man.
Love you, Phelps.
Book. I told you when we first got together how talented you are. How talented you are. How good at your job you are. What a great heart you have. None of that's changed. Hey, I'm just telling you right now, man, I didn't catch all of this, but I know one thing. You're a big time person. You care the right way. You care the right way. You're talented. Hey, you know what? People love to say you're a good guy. You're a good guy. You know what they don't say, and they should say most often? How talented you are. Hey, you're the only guy I know that can work a room like you can work. You're the only. Hey, by the way, on the court, Book, you know the game. You teach the game. You coach the game. You connect with players. So I'm telling you right now, look, I've been doing training here in Tucson for the last 6 months. And just like you, I'm dealing with younger players. The blessing is theirs. You're coaching 8th grade. I think I caught that. You're going to coach an 8th grade team. The blessing is theirs. Trust me. There's no better 8th grade coach in America right now than Book Richardson. And the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come.
It means a lot coming from my big brother.
Love you, man.
And my mentor. And I love you, bro. It's just you watched me grow up. You helped me grow up. And it just overcome with emotion because I wasn't expecting to see Mark Phelps. Somebody who I love, somebody who I care for, man.
I was late. I was late to the Zoom, but I couldn't miss you. Can I ask you a question? The little grays right here, man. When did they creep in? Little grays on the little beard right there. You got a nice beard, man. You got a nice beard.
The COVID beard.
Okay.
If I was there, I would spot you.
No, I would get you. It'd be 2 big bear hugs is what it would be.
That's what it would be.
Big,
well needed.
Big crying bear hugs.
I miss you, brother.
Anyway, yeah.
I miss you, brother.
Well, let's stay in touch, man. You know what Ryan Silver is doing, goes way beyond basketball, obviously bringing people together, providing opportunities that other people aren't able to do. And as his influence grows, his willingness to leverage that influence to help people is magnified, and it's awesome. So President Silver, appreciate the forum, bringing everybody together, and it's been awesome. And Book, I'm just telling you, the best is yet to come. Okay, it's when we're in those low points that we don't see anything but the negative. And at the end of the day, man, God has something really, really, really good for all of us, including you. It's gonna happen, and I'm excited to watch it happen.
I love you, brother.
Love you too.
Sorry for the emotion, man.
No,
I love you, brother.
You're good. You're good. It's all good.
Yeah, I have a question for you, Coach Book. It's kind of like a question and a statement. And the first part is, I think it was kind of messed up what happened at Arizona. I just felt like you know, somebody going to jail, somebody going to the feds for basketball is just way out of pocket, you know, first and foremost. I was watching, I think, another clip on you. Your wife was speaking, and the reporter asked her, like, how many people reached out to you from Arizona, and she really didn't have an answer for them because she really didn't know how many people reached out from Arizona to you. Like, you know, did Coach Miller reach out or whatever, you know? And the question I want to ask you is, I mean, do you see yourself coaching college basketball again? Do you want to get back there, or just kind of what you want to do? And like,
I'd absolutely love it. I'd unequivocally, I love it. I'm a degenerate coach. That's what I know. It's in my DNA. It's in my system. I think knowing what I know now, I think I'd be a huge asset just from the standpoint of knowledge, wisdom, and care for these young student athletes. And having an opportunity to say, look, I woke up one morning and this is what happened unexpectedly. You know, let's be on a straight and narrow, control the controllable. I think I have a message now. I think what message I had before, I have an even bigger message now. And I'd unequivocally love it, but unfortunately, that's not going to happen. So, you know,
and to like even like double back, like, you know, like when Ryan, like, you know, I do some fucked up shit, I do some good shit, you know, and Ryan calls me, I do good, and Ryan holds me accountable. You know, he don't turn his back on me either way it goes, you know, while I'm wrong. I mean, I might be crossing the line. I mean, when this shit was going on, even when you was serving your time, I mean, did Coach Miller ever reached out to you, or after the fact? Because your wife, if you look at your wife body language, it just seemed really bad. Like, she almost like, man, like, fuck that dude. That was kind of the vibe I kind of got from her on that.
You know, especially as a wife, they feel a little bit differently than you do. You know, and as we went through that stuff, you know, I would have wanted a lot more support, but I also understood Arizona's, they weren't my ally at the time. They were fighting a case, and I'm able to understand that now. Do I wish someone would have reached out? 100%. Do I wish someone would have just said, hey, it's going to be all right? You know, do I wish they would have said, hey, what happened? But, you know, again, everyone runs for cover. And, you know, like I said, I always thought that through tragedy, it should bring you closer. And I just saw that it pushed you apart. And my wife was hurt because, you know, when we moved from New York City to Cincinnati, Ohio, you know, she left her life. You know, she became a strong, independent woman, to now this housewife who she's trying to figure things out. And she, you know, she thought things differently. And I always tell her I deal in a world of gray, and she's very steadfast, black and white. That, you know, and I think her point was, as she saw how much I heard it, she saw the conversations I was having. She saw how I felt, and she wanted somebody to help me, and she felt like, you know, it was the university, because I had given everything to want to get to a Final Four and win a national championship. I sacrificed all I could to try my best to help be a part of a national championship winning program. And, you know, when she felt that wasn't reciprocated, you know, again, it's a lot of infighting, because, you know, you're trying to explain, because you're trying to now explain to her how things are happening. So,
but like, I feel like this last thing I said, I just feel like, you know, like, that way I keep on saying Ryan, because like with me, like, I haven't been a perfect guy, but like Ryan never really switched up on me. You feel me? I could have been all the way wrong, and, you know, it's white and black. You feel me? But Ryan,
yeah,
always had my back no matter what. I didn't believe it at first, but like, this guy did so much for me, and I just feel like, I know what you're saying, but I just feel for me, outside looking in, like with Coach Miller, I don't know Coach Miller like that, but it just seems like they basically just like forgot about you, and that's what I really wasn't feeling. But like, when you go across the country and recruit all these kids, it's all good, you know. But now when you're going through some tough shit in your life, it's like, shit, we don't know who he is, and I mean, you got a deeper relationship with him, but that's why I just kind of wasn't feeling, you know, every time.
Yeah, no, it hurt, you know. So I'd be remiss. I'd be lying to you all if I said it didn't hurt. You know, I also understood that this is very unique. This is the first time that this happened in the history of college basketball. So everything that happened was very new and very fresh for everyone. And I'm at a point in my life now where I now see that. At the time, I didn't see it. I didn't want to see it. You know, I wanted to talk to him. I wanted to do that. And, you know, as I go forward now, man, I wish the university nothing but the best. I got love for the university. You know, I want Sean to have the best of success, because, you know, me harboring on that, I can't move forward.
Thank you, Book. I appreciate it. I know you know player development, recruiting, game planning. You know, even though you're not out of coaching, you said coach somewhere. I still look up to you. I asked Ryan about you, and like, you know, you before I even got into coaching. I mean, you're still one of the coaches I look up to. You know, because you're a relationship.
And I appreciate that.
And I really I appreciate you, Book.
John, thank you. Like, you have zero idea how much that means. And just the magnitude of why my emotion runs high, because when people say things like that to me, you know, I'm the guy that low self-esteem. I'm the guy that's dealing with depression, and it's like it's easy to, when I'm working and helping people, that eases my anxiety. And when it's like this taken away, you think the worst. You definitely think the worst. And like I said, these words are encouraging. And like I said, man, you have zero idea how great that feels. Zero. And John, like I said, thank you. And if it's ever anything that I can do going forward, please let me know, you know, because I'm here. I'm here. Please use me as a resource.
Yeah, thank you, Coach.
All right.
I have a question, Coach Book. This is Marnie Carter from the Northern California Girls Program. Thank you very much for being here.
Hi, Coach.
Hi. My question to you is, we all face trials, and you unfortunately face one of the toughest ones. What would you say now, having some time away from the situation and now getting involved with coaching again at a different level, going through this trial? What are some things you shared some nuggets about relationship and personal, but what's kind of the things that you've learned through this trial that you now bring back to coaching that have given you a perspective in looking at coaching?
Fight. You know, there's a lot of times I wanted to quit. There's a lot of times I wanted to check out. You know, you know, when you go to jail and it's real. You know, when they're checking you in, and you know they're checking your body cavity. It's one of the most surrealist things. It's so surreal because you've seen that on movies, and you know now I never thought I can get through that, and now there's something that I can share with a kid that, hey, just like you thought you couldn't get through something, I'm telling you, this was a couple of months ago. I thought I couldn't get through it. Now dealing with probation and having someone telling me, you know, if I can travel, how I can travel, you know, not having a passport, not you know, not being able to move how I want. You know, I can easily relate that with the kid. Hey, you know, your mom's giving you a curfew. It's fine. You know, do what you need to do within that time. You know, the fact that I share, as long as you wake up, you got to plan that day. There's a ton of people, you know, especially as we go through this COVID-19 pandemic, there's a lot of people who just want to wake up. There's a lot of people who would love to wake up, who would love to have the problems we have. So let's stick through it. You know, my biggest thing as I share with players, once they step in between the lines, I don't know what happened to you earlier in the day, last night. I don't know if you broke up with your girlfriend or your boyfriend, but I do know you're here, and this is our church. And I use that word strongly. This is our church. Whenever there's two or more, we're talking about basketball, and we're trying to make sure that you're teaching them. I'm going through a phase now. I'm teaching my 8th graders away screen scoring. I'm teaching them how to deal with a down, because I much rather them have it to put it in their toolbox than not have it. And that's what this has given me, incredible perspective in terms of teaching details. Who are you as a person? Who are you as a man? Who are you as a provider? Who are you as a father? You know, who are you? And I question that every day. And some days I don't like the answer. Some days I don't like the answer. But you know what? Can I get to tomorrow? Can I get to tomorrow? I hope I answered it, Coach. I'm sorry.
Yes, thank you. Great.
Coach, I got a question for you. Coach, my name is Chris Stonley. I'm assistant coach at Cal Lutheran University. I want to first preface my question with, you know, my dad has a similar story to you. Division I head coach. Some shit goes left, and game gets ripped away from him. Essentially, you know, when that happened, He's working kids out. He's coached my elementary school team. You know, similar to, well, my dad died earlier this year in February, right before the COVID hit. And
sorry about that.
Thank you. But I will say, you know, in terms of for you, there were kids that came out, you know, we're from DC originally, and he coached all up and down in the trenches in DC and Northwest, North. And kids came out from all over the place. And I mean, for his funeral and talked about how much they meant to him at that time period for them. And I just want you to know, Coach, the kids you're coaching with right now, they're going to feel that. You know, they're going to feel that shit because, and I'm, you know, trying to hold back tears to talk about that shit right now. But, you know, keep doing your thing. I do want to ask the question, you know, Book Richardson, Manuel Book Richardson, where do you see yourself 5 years from now, 10 years from now? You know, what's the new Book Richardson as you deal with this and you start to build your life back up? What's you know, where do you see yourself 5 years from now and then 10 years from now?
5 years from now, you know, what was weird for me, when I was a kid, I never thought that I'd get to 21. I never thought that I'd get to 30. I never thought I'd be 47. And when you ask that, I think the biggest thing, Chris, I can share is I just want to be alive. I just want to be alive. And because like I said, 5 months ago, 6 months ago, I didn't think I would be alive. And as I know you fight emotion and, you know, again, you have somebody that you can bounce some things off. But, you know, my biggest thing is I want to be alive. I want to make sure that I can continue to assist and develop these young men and these young women. And hopefully, you know, at my funeral, because, again, I don't know if that's this year, 10 years from now. I never thought I'd be this age. And to have a situation like you had, you know, I would say, man, just live. You know, I want to be alive in 5 years. I want to, you know, I want to go to Santorini, Greece. You know, I want to travel the world. I want to now say, you know what? I've traveled the world as a basketball player and saw nothing. You know, I've traveled the world and God has blessed me to travel the world. And it's like, you know nothing about the world. And I want to know so much about different people. I want to know so much about different things that in 5 years, man, I want to say, man, hey, I wanted to travel the world and I want to see, you know, I want to see reality. I want to see people's realities. I don't want to watch National Geographic and say, hey, I know what happens in Egypt. No, I want to experience Egypt. And I say that because those are the things that I overlooked. I took for granted. I always took for granted. Oh, we travel. You know, hey, go on vacation. For what? I traveled anyway. And you stay in the room and you watch television and you hide in a room because you want to stay away from everyone. You don't want to be the guy that's hanging out in Vegas. And it's like, you know what? Well, you're not the guy hanging out in Vegas, but you are the dude that got, you know, 6 in the FBI came, guns drawn. I'd much rather be the guy that got caught in Vegas than the guy with no shirt on. That was a bad sight that morning. So,
well, thank you, Coach. And you know, as I saw the depression, the doubt. Just keep doing your thing, man. Just keep doing your thing.
Appreciate you, Chris. And I'm here, brother. Like I said, whatever I can do, however I can be of service or assistance, I'm here. Please believe that. Please know that. And call me on it. Call me on it.
Hey, Coach Book. This is Jason Smith. I work over at Zero Gravity Basketball, but I work with Ryan and these guys a lot too. I was a GA for Coach Burno up at ASU the year after you were gone, so with Lou and Lou Dort and those guys. But Burno always had, you know, unreal things to say about you, so I have a lot of respect for you from a distance. And Coach Burno's really, me and him are really, really close, and he has like amazing things to say about you. So a lot of respect from a distance. But now that you're back in, you know, Northeast grassroots basketball, what kind of impact has that had on you at this stage, and kind of something maybe you forgot from before, or, you know, anything like that?
I didn't realize how important middle school basketball became. When I was growing up playing, and even last time I coached, you know, my group, I had really, really good group. You know, I had Durant Scott, who was ACC Player of the Year. I had Jordan Theodore, who was a 3-year starter in the Big East. I had Truck Bryan, who played in the Final Four from West Virginia. I had this other guy, Kimber Walker. who went to UConn. And I was able to coach those guys really hard because we have a gym. It's privately owned, and we go anytime. But I knew my middle school group was good because eventually, I saw them. But now, middle school group, it's weird. They travel once a month. It's a thing.
Yeah.
This thing made hoops. This guy, Chad Babel, has it's like amazing. It's a phenomenon because it now makes Northeast grassroots basketball, to die for. Now you're dealing with these guys. Instead of you're dealing with them at 16, you're dealing with them at 12. I have a kid right now who has, 50,000 Instagram followers, and trying to, and I love him to death. But trying to teach him to, bounce pass instead of a no look, elbow pass. He's talented, but I'm trying to help him get to the highest level. And I don't think people realize, Coach Phelps would always tell me, there's a lot of talent. There's not a lot of opportunity. And I'd roll my eyes and I'm like, no, but we getting the best of the best. And he'd laugh like, yeah, we still getting the best of the best. All those guys don't get drafted. And that stuck with me. And now it's like, you're dealing with 7th graders and you're dealing with, they're hoop dreaming. They don't know anything else. So am I the guy that's going to pop their dreams? Am I the guy that's going to try to say, hey, this is reality. Hey, you're going to work a 9 to 5. Or am I the guy that's going to dream with them? Chase your dream while you catch an education. The great Tom Konchowski always says that. Chase your dreams while you catch an education. And you know what? Lightning in a bottle, and you get lucky, and guess what? You become Kemba Walker. Because none of us called who Kemba Walker would be. I laughed today. I watched Tobias Harris and Kemba Walker play in a game in the NBA. One guy's making $40 million a year. The other guy's a 4-time All-Star. And I laughed and I said, well, I was right with one of the two guys. One of the two guys I knew would make a lot of money. I didn't know it would be, Kemba, but both of them are. And I cut Tobias Harris because I said, man, I'm not sure. So that tells you about how good of a talent evaluator I am.
Damn, well, I appreciate you sharing. It's great. I hope we cross paths at some point when we're running stuff in, New York and Massachusetts, all over the Northeast every weekend during the season and stuff. So after this stuff's all over, I hope I see you around.
You will. I'll give you my word on that, Jay.
Yeah, if you need anything, just let me know.
Got you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
I think we have time for one more question if anyone's got one. Anybody, one more question? Well, Coach, appreciate you coming on. I think this is something that Ryan wants to kind of continue to do, and I know you're going to be doing some podcasts with us. So, really powerful speech tonight, and a lot of people are behind you. So, appreciate your time.
Appreciate it, Ryan. Thank you. Coach Phelps, like, you have zero idea, like, seeing you, what that did to me. Again, you talk about the prodigal son, you talk about a little brother seeing his big brother, you talk about love, you talk about compassion, and that's why I'm so, I appreciate you, Ryan. You have zero idea what you've done for me and what you continue to do. And I always say this, I want to bring and add value and worth to you, to basketball, to anybody who I'm involved with. So guys, thank you. And I appreciate it. And like I said, man, I'm here as best I can be. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Coach. It's great.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate your time. Stay safe.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks,
Thank you. That was great. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.